but it feels a lot better tonight for Game 4 than it did for Game 3. And I have a feeling our director, John Moore, will have a field day showing you the costumes that are in the seats here tonight on Halloween. Here's Steven Matz. Wasn't that long ago. He was trick-or-treating. He's 24 years old. Probably. 24 years old. Wears number 32. A world of talent. Slept in the bed he grew up in. Stayed at home last night. Made the commute. There he is in high school. And here he is in the big leagues and making just his 9th start at the big league level. Just happens to be World Series game number 4.
How cool is that? Got to stay at home, drive to the park, and pitch in a World Series game. Tom, I thought your stuff in the open was brilliant.
First New York-born pitcher to start a postseason game for the New York Mets.
Here's the lineup he'll be taking on. No surprises. Escobar, Zobrist, and Kane, the top 3 in the middle. Hosmer, Moustakas, and Salvador Perez. No DH. That means Morales is on the bench. They have to pick their spot with their best. Kendrys Morales. Bottom 3, Gordon Rios and Chris Young. Pitching and batting 9th. Home plate umpire tonight is Jim Wolf. Alfonso Marquez is at first. Gary Cederstrom, he's the crew chief. He's at second. Mike Everett is at third with Mark Carlson in left. Mike Winters in right. Bill Welke in the replay room. And off we go. .20-mile-per-hour difference from the first pitch in Game 3. 78 compared to his 98 to start the night. And the guy who wears the number that was once worn by John Matlack, who was so strong for the Mets in 73, brings home a bouncer and the count 1-ball-1-strike. For coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes.
You know, David Wright was all over that bunt right there. As you start to play against guys in a series, you get familiar with some things they might do. He was anticipating that bunt from Escobar. He was all the way in on the grass on a dead run before the pitch was delivered.
.96.
That's up a tick. Typically he'll sit 95, but just imagine the adrenaline right here. First inning for the local kid.
Hard hit, base hit. A 1-2 pitch at 97, and Escobar shoots it up the middle, and he's on to start the night.
Is it time to recognize this guy as a star player? I mean, he is doing stuff that is incredible. That at bat right there, start off with a changeup away. They go about 96 away. They try to get away again. You leave it out over the plate. He bangs it up the middle for a base hit. That's just a tremendous at bat.
Yeah, real key for Matz will be controlling the emotions. Use the energy in a positive way. Royals already have him in the stretch.
So that's 14 straight. There's a strike. The Kansas City Royals have proven game after game, night after night, that they can handle a fastball. Doesn't matter if it's 96, 97, 98. You leave it in a bad spot and they will pound it. Escobar just did.
And it doesn't take much to miss on your pitch. That was supposed to be on the outside half. He missed by about 4 inches. And it leaves it out over the plate for the base hit. But they hit off the fastball. They look for it and adjust anything off speed.
Talked to Terry Collins about Steven Matz and his start in Game 4 of the NLCS. He said the first 3 innings he was unhittable. Then the adrenaline started to wear off and he became hittable. He's pumped up now. Here's a bunt foul. strike two.
He's got all the tools, Joe. You've seen the velocity. Excellent curveball. He's featured that. That was the changeup right there. And he's added a fourth pitch, the slider, late in the season, which has become a very big pitch for him. And you'll see that featured against the left-handed hitters.
Came up at the end of June. Now pitching in the end of October. The 1-2. Major League debut. Beat Cincinnati 7-2. Steven Matz did. Had a big day at the plate. 4 RBIs. Went 3 for 3. Former second-round pick. Runner goes. Struck him out. No throw. And they're going to say interference and call them both out. Zobrist crossed the plate after the swing and the miss.
Well, you didn't get an argument from Zobrist. Now, there can be incidental contact. You got to allow that catch to the lane, but I think he's falling back away from the throw. He's getting out of the. You got to. I would think have to complete the throw, but you don't have to under the rules. It's all you need right there. You got your interference. You don't even have to continue to throw. All you got to do is go through the act. That's why you get the automatic call.
No argument whatsoever from the Royals. Former catcher is their manager, Ned Yost. Escobar had a great job. He would have stolen that easily. But he is out because Zobrist fell across the plate as he struck out. 2 out. And a strike to Lorenzo Cain.
Great jump, as you see. What I found interesting, too, Joe, was the shot of Ned Yost. He's a former catcher. You didn't get any argument from Ned at all. He knew immediately what had happened.
Cain gets a whiff of that. 2-1.
You'll see a lot of that from Steven Matz. He'll show fastball both sides of the plate. Loves to work in on the right-handed hitters.
Scoreless first for Steven Matz. And now the vet Chris Young goes to work, a former Met. After Curtis Granderson will lead it off for the Mets. He'll be followed by David Wright. Those two each hit a 2-run home run last night. Wright drove in 4. Daniel Murphy. Mets want to get him going. Then it's Cespedes, Duda, and d'Arnaud. And the bottom 3 in the lineup for New York. Conforto, Flores, Steven Matz, good hitting pitcher. Against the right-hander Chris Young, who was with the Mets in 2011, 2012. 3 hitless innings in Game 1, that 14-inning affair. He got the win. He deserved it. Coming out of the bullpen, he was terrific.
Tougher to solve first time around than the Sunday Times crossword puzzle. Why? It's just so unique. 6'10", fastballs up, sliders down. It takes a while to adjust to the uniqueness of Chris Young.
Granderson. Ball 1.
Yeah, I do say this, though. Having seen him for 53 pitches the other day, come back this quick was a nice preview for the Mets.
Pitching on shortened rest. He's not a power pitcher. Guy went to Princeton, 6'10". Those are the required tidbits to throw out there for every announcer when Chris Young is pitching a game, as he finds strike 1. But he is a guy who develops his own game plan, puts it all together himself, and basically delivers it like a speech to Dave Island, the pitching coach, and his catcher Salvador Perez when he shows up. That's ball 3.
Joe, I think it's worth emphasizing how unique that is. Chris Young puts the game plan together by himself, does all the talking in the pregame meeting. Typically the club, especially the pitching coach, will talk with the pitcher through the game plan.
Granderson hooks it foul.
Okay, one thing to point out, too, remember yesterday, Zobrist diving for the base hit by Granderson in the outfield grass. He was way deep. Now he's just off the grass. So they've made an adjustment already. I love this stuff.
And Granderson hits it right to him. 1 out.
He hits that same ball to him yesterday. I think he has a chance to beat it out. They were planting that deep. So they shortened that up. The base hit yesterday, you're not giving up those easy hits again.
Degree in politics from Princeton. He's a basketball player there as well. He's the second pitcher, 6'10" or taller, to work in a World Series. Randy Johnson the other. Your longtime teammate.
Yes. And when you said 6'10" in Princeton requirement, I was like, man, nobody's getting into Princeton. I know the SAT stuff.
Here's David Wright. Last night hit a 2-run home run in the first. This is into left, easy for Gordon. 2 out.
That's that 87, Tom. You know, you're thinking it's got a little bit more on it, and it just doesn't get to you. That was a good swing, but the ball didn't get to him.
Extreme fly ball pitcher. When he's on, the outfielders are busy.
Second time in the postseason for Chris Young. Worked with San Diego back in 2006. That's the last chance he had. Ball 1 high to Daniel Murphy, who has just 2 hits in this series, 2 out of 13, after hitting .421 through the first 2 rounds of the postseason. 2-0.
Well, he hasn't been swinging the bat very well. And these are the counts where he's got to get back to being himself. Not worried about home runs, but striking the ball sharp and picking up some hits.
Hard hit into right, and a diving catch by Rios. What a good play by Alex Rios out in right, and he gets up in some pain. Good catch, Rios. Mets go in order after 1 no score. First pitch is inside to Eric Hosmer to start the second inning. No score. Royals got a leadoff hit from Escobar in the first. Nats faced only 3. Now he bangs one in for strike 1 to Hosmer.
Tom, 2 pitches inside. You've been saying they need to pitch him in the whole series.
1-1. Strike 2.
Not sure he wanted that curveball inside, but froze Hosmer. We'll expect to see the breaking ball inside half of the plate.
One down. Strikeout number 2.
Look at this. There's the curveball in, and now the one down, perfectly located. The difference between a curveball with less than 2 strikes and that one, the chase curveball with 2 strikes. Say it again, he has allowed 1 extra base hit to left-handed hitters all year.
Moustakas takes a strike.
I don't think he's your normal left-hander. You know, most left-handed pitchers don't bust you in and then have that hard slider. It's almost like a slurve. His curveball, it breaks so hard, he's pitching it in and out.
Foul ball for strike 2. And we caught Alex Rios after he made the catch in right. Great grab. And the ball hit by Daniel Murphy. And that right arm and shoulder got extended on that dive. And he was in some pain heading back into the dugout.
seen all the options Mats has. The two-seamer in on the lefty sets up the breaking ball away. The four-seamer up.
That's the tough pitch for the left-hander to hang in on. The breaking ball inside. Plus he's throwing that 95 keeps him from having to stay on this ball. Fouls it off, fighting it off basically. But when you've got 95, it's tough to stay in there on that hook.
In and out of the glove of d'Arnaud.
Staying alive. Mike Moustakas has not missed in his last 33 swings. It's the last 4 games. He has proven to be a tough out, whether it's a right-hander or a left-hander on the mound.
He has been getting hotter as this postseason has worn on. Moustakas on 2-2. Grounds to right. 2 out. Aaron, who's down in that dugout for Kansas City?
Yeah, Joe, and just moments ago, Edison Volquez returned to the dugout of many of his teammates coming over, giving him hugs. Of course, he rejoined his team later today after flying to the Dominican Republic to attend his father's funeral. I spoke to pitching coach Dave Island, and he said when he got to the field, he had him toss the ball around a bit and get on a treadmill. But he said more importantly, because he's scheduled to be the Game 5 starter tomorrow, he needed to see where he was mentally. Dave had a conversation with him before the game started, and he looked at me and he said he's ready to go, Joe.
He is matched up against Matt Harvey here tomorrow night. Rematch of Game 1. Game that was won in the bullpen. Matz is throwing strikes. And he's 0-2 on Salvador Perez. That's a base hit on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Doesn't matter the count. They see a fastball, their eyes light up, and Salvador Perez on with 2 out.
Well, look, when somebody's throwing as hard as they do, particularly in today's game, I know a lot of guys like to guess. But if you're looking for a fastball, you can always look hard and then slow down to see something off speed. It's tough to look for a breaking ball and say, okay, oh, here's a fastball, I'm going to catch up. It just doesn't work that way. Well, there's certain counts you're going to guess. That happens. But for the most part, you hit fastball and adjust, you're going to come out pretty good.
Gordon up there pumping, strike 1. Salvador Perez now 5 out of 14 in this World Series. Alex Gordon 3 for 10 with a home run. He had the game tire off Familia in Game 1. Strike 2.
Very comfortable getting the ball in on the left-handed hitters.
There are certain guys that scouts will describe, or personnel directors will describe on the mound, as the ball comes out of their hand easy. And it just flies out of the hand of Steven Matz.
It really does. Nice, easy delivery, and then boom. And why that's so hard to hit is you swing with the motion that's coming at you. If a guy jumps at you quick, you have a tendency to jump out quick at him. When a guy's nice and easy, you think nice and easy, then the ball jumps on you. It's just the opposite direction.
That's foul.
Yeah, the other day I called it the greatest simulated game I've ever seen. Steven Matz and Noah Syndergaard are having a simulated game. We're standing behind the cage. We're watching these guys. And Syndergaard, his fastball is loud and angry. You can hear it cut through the air. Matz, it's like the ball is actually smaller, like he's throwing a golf ball. As you said, Joe, just flies out of his hand.
Shattered bat. That is a fair ball, and the inning is over. Matz through 2 scoreless. Bottom of the second rolls in with Cespedes, Duda, d'Arnaud coming up for New York. This game send their middle 3. Cespedes, Duda, and d'Arnaud against Chris Young. Making his second start this postseason.
Joe, a lot has been made about Cespedes golfing every day. I asked him today, did you golf? He still had his golf pants on. He said, yes, I did. And so we talked about, did you walk all 18? He's only done that once. The myth was he walks 18 every time he plays, but he did tell me why he golfs so much. And it's not just for the love of the game, but he said it allows him to keep his hands inside the baseball better. When he feels like he's circling the ball or gets into a little bit of slump, golfing puts his hands in the right rhythm.
Well, they still talk around the Mets about a par 5 he played in Colorado, 538 yards, driver, gap wedge. Drive went more than 400 yards, so Joe, you can see with a swing like that what he can do to a golf ball.
Yeah, relatively new to the game, but just obsessed with it. 2-1 pitch. In at the knees, 2-2.
That's the ball that freezes hitters. That one right there, that one down low, it's coming from such a high arc that you give up on it, and it catches the plane through the zone. The time where a catcher catches it, you're shaking your head, but when it's going through the zone, it's a strike.
Cespedes spoils it.
Yeah, I mean, typically we talked about the fastball up in the zone, and I think hitters train their eyes to see a Chris Young fastball up. We saw this in game 1 where he kept the fastball down and got the called strikes.
A strikeout to start the inning. Cespedes tagged out. First strikeout of the night for Chris Young. It'll bring in Lucas Duda.
Yeah, I think it's interesting catching Chris Young, too. I noticed when we were going through their series before how Salvador Perez turns his glove almost upside down, opposite of maybe squaring it in your screen, similar to where he's got it now, and he catches the ball at the bottom of the zone by being able to frame it upside down.
That's down to Duda, ball 1.
It's interesting how the Mets prepared for Chris Young. We're seeing some pitches down. They were preparing for fastballs up. They actually moved the pitching machine in the indoor cage off the mound. The reason they did that was from the mound you have a normal high to low trajectory of the pitch, a downward plane. With Young, it's less of an angle down, so they moved the pitching machine up off the mound for a flatter plane to hit the balls up.
Good pitch from Young, strike 2.
Well, didn't you think the guy from Princeton's going to change his game plan? It looks like he did.
Duda rolls one over to the right side. It's a fair ball. 2 out.
That play's tougher than it looks. You're watching this ball come over, and Hosmer's got to make sure this doesn't hit the bag and kick away, so you're kind of waiting. It still rolled on top of the bag. That's why you see him scoop it with 2 hands. Usually just scooping one-handed, but that one he's making sure I got this little easy roller. Those are the ones you miss.
2-time Gold Glove Award winner over at first base for the Royals. Here's d'Arnaud. Mets looking for their first base runner of the night.
Now, to me, d'Arnaud and Murphy match up best against Chris Young. Let that fastball that holds its plane. It's the guys with the flatter swings. Fly ball pitcher. I want hitters who get on top of the baseball. d'Arnaud and Murphy have the best swings in that regard.
1 ball, 1 strike. In a series that features so much dynamic pitching. There's such a contrast between the starter for the Mets tonight, Steven Matz, who's a lefty who can light up a radar gun, and Chris Young using deception as d'Arnaud rolls one to Moustakas. And the first 6 Mets have gone in order. 3rd inning, game 4. Royals and Mets, no score. jackets, and more. Get all your Mets and Royals World Series gear and celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop.
I went on there looking for my Thor gear from last night. They didn't have it.
Here's Rio. See how this at bat goes after we saw him make the diving catch out in right in the first inning. Came up with that right arm hanging a little bit. Now he foul tips it for strike one.
Yeah, sometimes when you dive and you jam that right shoulder into the dirt or grass in his case, you get that shooting sensation going through his arm. That's why what he felt.
Matz has struck out 2. He's pitched around a hit in each inning. Two and 2.
I think this is the toughest place to hit in any order in baseball with the pitcher hitting behind you.
Fastball misses, up and away, full count. In the air to center field, well hit. Back on the track, 1 out. Allowed out by Rios to start the third. A shake of the head from Steven Matz, and down we go to Ken Rosenthal.
Joe, I spoke this morning with Steven Matz's high school coach, Lou Petrucci from Ward Melville High School. And he told me that as a sophomore, Matz was 5'9", 140 pounds, looked like a baby. He started only once that year. He had some arm discomfort. Doctors attributed it to growing pains. As a junior, he didn't pitch that much more, but he went to a showcase in Connecticut that summer, was clocked at 88, 89 miles per hour. It was the first time he had ever been clocked on a radar gun. And at that point, a lefty throwing 88, 89, he was on his way.
Eventually a second-round pick in 2009 by the Mets as Chris Young takes a strike. He was 17 and 16 in the minors into this year. Came up at the end of June, went on the DL at the end of July. By the way, Chris Young can handle the bat. He fouls one out of play off to the right now in the hole 1 and 2. Picture of Steven in high school, and his parents are sweating through this one. Ron and Lori on this chilly night at Citi Field. 2 out.
Well, Joe, imagine starting a World Series game as a left-hander with only 8 career starts. That's where Steven Matz finds himself. He's had great command of this breaking ball these early innings. Makes the night a little easier. Actually ties a record, the fewest starts by a left-hander going into a World Series start. And Harold, I know you know this. Duster Mayles back in 1920.
Escobar takes a ball.
Did you say dust my nails in 1920?
You talk about confidence. Duster already had a nickname. He gave himself the nickname The Great, as in the Great Mayles. And before Game 6 of the 1920 World Series, he says Brooklyn, Cleveland's playing Brooklyn, will be lucky to get a foul ball off of me. There's old Duster. He says if Cleveland gets me 1 run, we will win the game. This is before the game. And guess what? He won the game 1-0.
In for a strike from Matz. Now 1 and 2 on Escobar.
I checked Steven Matz's Twitter account today. He didn't make any guarantees.
Mets fans are loving it so far. Left side for right. And the young left-hander is on to start this game 4. Bottom of the 3rd inning, we'll see Steven Matz back at a major league ballpark. Come out and make memories that last a lifetime. Go to MLB.com/tickets to reserve your seats for 2016. Conforto hits one into right. Down the line, it is gone. Home run for the rookie. And the Mets lead 1-0 in game 4 here in the 3rd. has stuck with the kid. He hadn't gone deep since Game 2 of the division series. And he just launched one down the line here in right. Only question, would it stay fair? It did, and the Mets strike first. Flores into center field, a base hit.
Conforto was the one guy who had not seen Chris Young in Game 1. Fastball up, ambush. Well, he probably does the crossword puzzle on 8-2.
Well, that swing by Michael Conforto, you didn't see 2 years ago. That ball he shoots to left field. That's the one thing that he and Kevin Long have really worked hard on, is him being able to pull that pitch. That was my big concern watching him come to the big leagues. Was he going to be able to pull the ball?
Here's one that skips in, and down to second goes Flores. With Matz up there to bunt. About a 56-footer from Chris Young.
Yeah, and that's a big mistake, so to speak. You move the runner up. Now you can bunt him over to third and have a runner at third base with 1 out. So this kind of changes the whole half inning right here for the Mets. A little changeup he held on to a little bit too long. Actually spiked the fastball.
Wild pitch down to second is Flores with nobody out, and a 1-0 count on Matz. When his major league debut went 3 for 3 with 4 RBIs. The bunt is perfect over to third. Flores 1 out.
Well, Joe, you called it perfect bunt, because if he bunts that ball anywhere else, Eric Hosmer is going to come left-handed first baseman with an angle to throw to third base. He's coming hard, but he deadens it right in front of the plate. The ball's going to die in the dirt, and then he rolls it in between the pitcher and a little bit towards the third baseman. That freezes everybody to take Hosmer out of the play of being able to make that. So beautiful play all the way around.
Now the infield comes in for Granderson, runner at third. Flores with only 1 down. For Wilmer Flores, that was his first hit of this World Series, strike 1.
And you want to know what the Royals think of Steven Matz? They got the infield drawn in.
You have to here with 1 out. Don't want to concede anything.
Another one that bounces into Salvador Perez.
Granderson looking for anything he can elevate against the fly ball pitcher.
Strike 2.
Around the cage talking to Curtis Granderson and Conforto, and he said, Torrey Hunter taught me a long time ago, the key is to find out what's each team do individually against you and make those adjustments. They were talking about that at the cage today.
Conforto is already homered in this inning. Flores at third. Granderson hits it foul.
That's such a great statement, because everybody has a book of how they think they can get you out. But not every team is going to pitch you the same or position you the same. So when you figure out what that other club you're facing that day does, then you go ahead and make that adjustment.
Still 1-2. Michael Conforto, the first rookie to homer in a World Series game since Buster Posey 5 years ago today. In Game 4 of the 2010 World Series. Here's a 1-2. Granderson into right. Rios will come up ready to throw. Flores will tap and come. The throw too late. 2-0. And Rios took his time.
He forgot how many outs there were.
Yes, he did. He forgot.
He thought that was out number 3.
He took 2 steps towards the dugout. By then it was too late.
If he comes up throwing, he's got to play at the plate. Alex Rios has a good arm. Lost track of the outs.
we're going to have. They've already appealed to third when we were in our first replay, and Ned Yost is going to challenge the tag at third base.
Well, as you said, Joe, they already did appeal it. And that is very close.
I don't believe that's reviewed.
Looks like he first wants the umpires to get together to see if base umpires or even the outfield umpires had a look at this.
Question is, is there irrefutable evidence?
A year ago, that was not reviewable. That was one of the things that they went back and corrected and made that reviewable this season.
Yeah, you're right, because initially they said that it's too hard to match up the two pictures and be sure. This, you don't have to match up any picture. So it is reviewable, and they're giving it a look. And you can see the bench told Ned Yost to go challenge that as they got word from in their clubhouse. As it turned out, Flores didn't have to even.
You know what happens a lot of times as a runner is you get on the bag and you rock back and push, and as you rock back, it almost looks like you leave early. So this is going to be an interesting challenge.
Well, I think that one picture, and again, when they first put instant replay in, they did not allow for this to be reviewed. That's been corrected and changed. The question is there irrefutable evidence to say that he left early? Is his foot still on the bag when the ball is in the glove?
And don't forget, back in the MLB headquarters, they can blow up that picture. You're really talking about, did the spike leave the base before the ball touched the back of Rios' glove? Here comes your answer.
We'll have to check, and we do have the ability to check with New York to see if that falls under the category of not enough evidence to overturn the call.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't think that's real hard to overturn, and you're taking a run off the board on a play that was a gimme run.
But if he leaves early, he's out.
Yeah.
It was certainly close enough for the challenge. And the Royals don't win it. So it's 2-0 and the bases are empty, 2 out.
And give the Mets credit for manufacturing that run. Single, an expensive wild pitch to move him up to second. Bunt to get him over, fly ball to get him in.
I'm still stuck on Alex Rios. You got the infield drawn in, which is right in front of you, so he sees that for a couple pitches and then forgets how many outs there are. That's a tough one. I've been there before. I forgot the outs, but that's a costly one right there.
I mean, this is the World Series. I mean, you can't forget how many outs there are in the world at any time, let alone in a World Series game, and Rios just locked up.
It's also Halloween. Spooky.
Here's a 1-2. 2-2.
I'm with you, Joe. It's just one of the, you can't, this can't happen. It does, but it can't. He's still got enough on this to make it a close play at home. And I was looking at Flores to see if he was going and going to stop, but he was going the whole way.
We are told from New York there was not enough evidence to overturn the call. So had the call on the field been after they appealed that he left too soon, that probably would have held up under replay. The call was safe, the appeal was safe, and no change, no reversal on the challenge. Still 2-2 on Wright.
Well, Flores knew what he was up against. You got a short fly ball to right field, and they're saying, let's get the run. He knows Rios can throw. Trying to get that good break.
2-2 pitch. Just high, full count.
First time around, Chris Young working down in the zone. Or this inning, up in the zone. Didn't get the call.
3-2 pitch. A 2-out walk. And obviously, Chris Young is a little bit off with his release point.
It's got to be very difficult to change. I'm going to go high. No, I'll go low, because those are all different release angles. And for a guy that comes straight overhand like he does, that means hold on to the ball a little bit longer or release it sooner.
Now it's Murphy with the Mets up 2-0 in the bottom of the third. 1 on, 2 out. 2 runs home in the inning. Ball 1 low.
Murphy got into a good count last time, 2-0, and centered the ball up that Rios made the diving catch on. He's seeing the ball pretty good right now.
Here's a 1-0 pitch.
Chris Young does not have the same bite on that slider, certainly not the same command that we saw in Game 1.
Murphy gets under it, pops it into right. Out is Zobrist to end the inning. But in this third inning, Michael Conforto, the rookie, struck out and then interfered. Let's listen in to first base coach Rusty Kuntz.
So he's out on the interference. He's out on strike 3.
That's correct. Batter out on.
Oh my God! He's standing right on top of home plate. That's a great call.
Talking to Alfonso Marquez. Here's a strike from Matz to start the 4th inning. 2-0 Mets on top.
You know what was cool about that is Alfonso Marquez wasn't even looking at the replay board. He knew exactly what the call was. These umpires have to know all these things just so routinely to them.
Here's the 0-1. Zobrist. It's a foul ball into right, strike 2.
Great call and a huge call. We all agree Escobar looked like he had the base stolen. You're looking at runner on second base, 1 out. Instead, base is empty, 2 outs, and Matz has been rolling since.
Zobrist trying to get on to start the 4th. Chatted with the manager Terry Collins of the Mets. We'll give you that after Zobrist does something to begin the top of the 4th inning with Kane and Hosmer to follow. Zobrist doesn't agree. 1 out. Strikeout number 4.
Commanding both sides of the plate. Does he catch the corner?
Nope.
But he's been around the plate all night. He gets the call.
Sure did, and that's the key. Keep pounding it.
See why Zobrist spun out of there upset that was called strike 3. Kane takes a strike. 4 strikeouts now for Matz. He's allowed 2 singles. Strike 2. Here we go with Terry Collins. First question about Steven Matz and him looking good tonight.
He sure does. He's,
got very, very good stuff, and he's commanding the strike zone right now, keeping him off balance with his secondary pitches, and throwing the ball very well.
Yeah, how's your bullpen after last night's game going into this game 4?
Oh, we're in great shape. You know, those guys, they've had a lot of rest in the last 10 days, so they're in good shape.
Tell us about what your hitters are seeing out of Chris Young. He's deceptive.
He is deceptive, you know, and that's the one thing, you know, just don't see guys that tall, and the angles that he can create, you know, they're very deceptive. He's got a great changeup, and you know, hopefully next to the second or third time through the lineup, we get a better idea.
Terry, thanks for the time.
All right, guys.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Kane. It's fought off and fouled off. The Royals, by the way, have come back from 2 or more runs to win 5 times already this postseason. It's tied for the most ever in a single postseason for the '96 Yankees. That's strike 3 on the inside corner again. 2 out.
Talked about whoever wins the inside half of the plate is going to win the game. And Steven Matz is getting that right now. He's pounding the inside half and he's getting the call. Again, another questionable pitch. This one may be a little closer than even Zobrist's ball, but he continues to be able to pound. And the folks are excited.
Here's Hosmer. Steven Matz lost to Clayton Kershaw in the division series here 3-1. On Tuesday, October 13th, went 5, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. Started, did not get the decision in the clincher at Wrigley. But he is rolling tonight. He is through 4 scoreless. And the Mets lead 2-0 into the bottom of the 4th. Here at Citi Field in Game 4. Happy Halloween from all of us at Fox Sports as we play here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Game 4. The Mets leading 2-0. It'll be Cespedes, Duda, and d'Arnaud against Chris Young, who allowed the leadoff home run in the 3rd. Gets a strike here, and the count evens at 1.
Being fair to both teams right now, Jim Wolf on the inside pitch, giving that to both pitchers.
Cespedes struck out his first time. Here's a 2-1. 3-1.
One thing you know about Chris Young, he's going to battle. I'm sure he's taken note of the way Steven Matz is throwing the baseball tonight, leaving him little room for error, already down 2. But so far the command has been elusive, and a danger pitch right here.
Cespedes is thinking home run. Full count.
Optical illusion, right? 87 miles an hour up in the zone. It's a spin on this pitch. The ball just doesn't sink the way a hitter expects it to.
A strikeout for the 2nd time of Cespedes. He's 0 for 2-1 out here in the 4th inning. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Verizon. Better matters. By Indeed, how the world works. And by Walmart. Walmart proudly supports our veterans. Visit greenlightevet.com to learn more. One out, nobody on for Lucas Duda.
Well, Joe, Terry Collins told us we live by the long ball. They were happy to get back to this ballpark. It's a big park in Kansas City at Kauffman Field. They felt like this is conducive to their team. It plays fair. But the Mets feel like they got to hit home runs to win.
One ball, one strike on Duda.
I thought he was very honest in that assessment. He said, listen, we don't have a lot of speed. Not a great base running team. We're not going to string singles together, go extra bases. We need to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And this play is much more fair in that regard in recent years.
Hard hit, but foul. Strike two. Duda's been coming around. We talked about the 2 for 21 start to begin the postseason. 9 for his last 21 with 3 extra base hits and 7 RBIs. He's not homered here since September 18th. Still 1-2.
You know, looking at the shift we just saw, and I remember talking with Ron Renicky when he was no longer with the Brewers, and now he's the Dodgers third base coach. And he said the charts show even though you throw a guy on the outside half, he's still going to pull it into the shift. Not just Duda, but most players will do that. I just thought it was crazy. So you're still staying in the shift and you're pitching away? And he said, yes, we still pitch guys away.
2-2 the count. The dimensions have changed here at Citi Field since it first opened in 2009. That's foul. This was a ballpark, Tom, where fly balls came to die. And now the dimensions are, as Harold said, far more fair for the hitter.
Yeah, I think it's still a pitcher's park, but definitely more fair. I think it's a good word to use. See some of the back walls behind the home run walls existing now with the original walls.
Duda's fooled, and he strikes out 2 down.
See the difference right there. And that got in people's heads here. There's no doubt about that, especially David Wright with that opposite field power. It was tough to leave here at right center.
.164 home runs hit in this ballpark this year. 30 more than were hit at the K, Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Here's d'Arnaud. Off the end of the bat, a pop-up, and Chris Young has a quick and easy 4th. That sends game number 4 into the 5th inning. Royals will bat down by 2. Back after this from your local Fox station. Bryce Harper unable to attend due to a previous commitment. Donaldson 41 home runs, 123 RBIs. Harper 42 and 99 while he hit .330 for the Nationals. Here's Moustakas, took a strike, and now the next from Matz is grounded to first. Duda to the bag, 1 down.
Well, you see Steven Matz streak off the hill right there. Talk about an athlete. That was impressive. Watch him streak. He's over there in a flash. I know he went through that growing period we were talking about earlier. He said he grew about 6 inches that period of time. Very uncoordinated and unorthodox. I guess he's got it together now.
Listed at 6'2", 201. That's a strike, a ball and a strike to Salvador Perez.
He looks taller than 6'2", doesn't he? Especially even when you're around it.
A 1-1. Out in front of it is Perez.
This has been clinical so far. And really, Matz has barely left the plateau area of the mound. He and d'Arnaud on the same page throughout. It's not like he doesn't have a lot of options to work with. He's got everything working tonight. Get the ball, get the sign, go.
Breaking ball is flied into left center field, and that is down. Cespedes kicks it away, and Salvador Perez will coast into second with 1 out. Perez 2 for 2 with a single And we'll see how they rule that. Definitely a hit, but is it a hit and an error or a double?
I think it's going to be a double the way he played it. You're not going to see Cespedes lay out like a lot of other people. It's a very difficult catch, and it's just the luck of the bounce, so to speak, for Perez as he without intent kicks this ball away with the right foot. Watch this, just part of the motion, kicks it forward.
That's a great point. He doesn't leave his feet that often. A lot of center fielders will get their eyes down to that baseball. Didn't have a great first step either.
Goes down as a double for Perez. Here's Gordon as the Royals have a runner in scoring position for the first time tonight. Gordon grounded out to first his first time up. Alex has hit 2 home runs this postseason. 2-0 Mets lead in the 5th. Strike 2.
He looks awful fooled on that pitch. You don't see many left-handers pound left-handed hitters inside like he is doing in this game. They just don't see that very often. That ball running back in on Alex Gordon, just basically fighting it off.
Nasty two-seamer, opens up the outside for the breaking ball if he wants it.
That's hit into right. That ball's going to get down. Perez will come around third to score, and it's a 2-1 game as Alex Gordon has cut the lead in half.
He got the breaking ball, but he didn't get it away.
Exactly right. Hung it. One of the few mistakes we've seen him make with the breaking ball. Just a cement mixer, stayed middle for Gordon. Ned Yost has his bullpen ready in case we get down to Chris Young's spot.
Number 8 man is up. That's Rios. Strike 1. That's Duffy out there, the left-hander. He worked in last night's game, but ended up throwing just 2/3 of an inning. In the air to center. Cespedes spins around. 2 out. And we'll get a pinch hitter. That's it for the starter, Chris Young.
Well, you think about it, Chris Young basically threw a 1-0 game. I know he gave up the home run to Conforto, then they manufactured, and Rios fell asleep on the fly ball. They scored the run.
Guys, how about this move? Kendrys Morales, who is really the one big threat, is going to be the call here with 2 out in the 5th inning, as Ned Yost is looking for Morales to pop one, but this is a big bat that's coming off the Royals bench here in the 5th.
Now, this is why I didn't like their roster construction, having Earl Mondesi Jr. rather than Johnny Gomes on the roster, because Ned Yost is now firing his best bullet, Kendrys Morales, this early in the game in not exactly a high leverage spot. 2 outs, runner on first base. If you have a guy like Gomes, a veteran hitter, especially against a left-handed pitcher, this would be the spot for him.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. They've got Butera, who is a backup catcher. You can't use him. Colon, he's a utility guy you want to have defensively on the field.
And does not have an at-bat this entire postseason.
And then you got Orlando, who you want to replace Rios late in the game for your defensive moves. So he's shooting his bullet right here with really the one offensive weapon he's got right now.
Chris Young ends up going 4 innings, 2 runs on only 2 hits, 3 strikeouts, a walk. Here are the numbers from Matt. Here's Morales. Ball 1. Kendrys is typically the DH for Kansas City. Had a big year. Hit 22 home runs, knocked home 106. That's down. Ball 2. 2-0 on deck. Escobar.
This pitch requires some thought. You see him walk off the back of the mound. Cannot give in. Fastball away.
That's a ground ball, base hit up the middle. Gordon will stop at second. 2 on, 2 out as the pinch hitter, Kendrys Morales, singles to turn the lineup back over to the top in Escobar.
Well, the other thing you're doing, too, is you're forcing, if you can get Matz out of the ball game and get to that bullpen, that's what he's trying to do. He's forcing that action and making Terry Collins think about it as you move forward. Now they're back to the top of their order to work him again as you start to go around a second time. So gutsy move. We'll see how it plays out.
Well, here's Escobar, who singled his first time, and the crowd jumps back into it. 1 for 2 tonight. Here's Alcides. See if Escobar can deliver again in a postseason where he has been one of the toughest outs in baseball.
Well, Terry Collins didn't have any options. The bullpen just got up now.
I'll tell you what, if I'm Ned Yost, I'd rather see those guys in the pen right now than seeing Steven Matz moving forward.
Matz is due up third in the bottom of this fifth. 1-0. 2-0.
Don't forget, in the postseason, his pitch counts 85 and 76. He's not a guy designed at this point in his young career to pitch deep into a game.
Escobar could tie it with a hit. Into right. Granderson back to grab it. 2-1. As the Royals get on the board but strand 2, and they've used their best pinch hitter, Bozon Webb Services, on the home run.
The prettiest swing for a left-hander is when you can stand and watch it. 107 mile an hour off the bat. 395 feet. I like the height. 118 feet. It's over the overhang. You feel like you're playing back in Old Tiger Stadium. And Tom, you talked about the swing.
Thing of beauty. You've got the right word, Joe. Extension. Watch after contact, the way the barrel continues forward. I mean, that is... I think that swing reminds me of Carlos Gonzalez, who I think has the best plate coverage in the big leagues. This guy... he's a number 3 hitter waiting to happen. And I'm talking about next year. He's that good with tremendous power.
Started the season at high A ball. Single A ball. Called up from Double A. Takes a strike. And Danny Duffy announces his entrance into the game with a 97 mile an hour fastball to begin the bottom of the fifth. 2-1 Mets on top, trying to even this best of 7 series. So a lefty for Conforto. Strike 2.
Well, this will be the challenge for him as he gets older, how he hits the left-handers, because he's going to be that guy that you bring in a specialist against. Say, we got to get you out. He's going to get those tough lefties.
The 0-2. Just a little bit high, I guess. Ball 1.
Well, you want that pitch. You want that one.
Let's go, Wolfie.
Can you imagine? You called it, Joe. Opening day, I think the ball was up a little bit. He's playing in St. Lucie, Port St. Lucie, Florida, in front of 2,600 people. Tonight he hits a World Series home run. By the way, in AAA Las Vegas, Steven Matz and Noah Syndergaard. That's where they were on opening day. Young men in a hurry.
Two-two pitch. Fly ball into right. Will this carry? He has got another. Conforto. 3-1.
talk about how strong he is. He's fooled on this pitch. And he hits this ball about 390, 400 feet off his front side. It's a breaking ball. He gets out in front of it and was able to just stay through it.
With that, Michael Conforto, Tom, is the second Met to hit 2 home runs in one World Series game. Gary Carter, the other.
See that extension? Just special swing that kid has.
I know you throw a lot of names on a guy, and Carlos Gonzalez is a good one, but he reminds me of a young Don Mattingly, where the power wasn't there through the minors. It was coming, and he got to the big leagues, he figured it out. And that's who Conforto reminds me of.
There's a strike taken right down the middle on 0-2 by Flores, 1 out. Alex Rodriguez is with us out in the outfield in the pregame set. Hey, Rod, it's not bad when you can get fooled on a pitch, not get all of it, and still flip it deep into the night.
Boy, what an incredible swing, and it's amazing. These kids come up nowadays, and that's the biggest difference that I see when I came up 20 years ago is these kids come out ready, mature, and ready to produce on the big stage, and none bigger than tonight.
Here's Matz. What'd you think, Alex? We were debating it here in the booth. We kind of thought that might be it for Matz getting through the 5th inning, but he's getting the at-bat here. He may go back out for the 6th inning, even though we know this kid can hit.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he's a good hitter, so he might hit a double here. But very impressive pitcher. I agree. I think Harold said that he's probably the best option at this point. But, you know, the Mets historically have always drafted and developed all these great pitching, and he has the potential to be the #1 guy, if not in this staff, from 29 other teams.
2 balls and a strike on Matz. Yeah, you've become the #1 starter for the Mets here over the next couple of years, and you're good. They got so much young talent, whether it's Harvey, tomorrow night starter. Saw DeGrom, Syndergaard last night, Matz. With Zach Wheeler coming back next year. Here's Matz into center. Right at Kane, 2 out.
Joe, you can ask people in the organization who they like best, and you'll get differing opinions. It's like picking your favorite Beatle. So I want to ask Alex Rodriguez. You've seen the 4 of these guys. Who's got the highest ceiling?
Oh, boy, that's a tough question, Tom. You know, I'll turn it back on you. Whoever you don't want, whoever you take, I'll take the others. But, you know, I'm biased to left-handed pitching. I feel to win world championships, you saw it in New York with Andy Pettitte and Jimmy Key. I really like Steven Matz, a left-hander who average fastball is 95 miles an hour with an overhand curveball and a power changeup. Remember, this guy was also a very good first baseman in high school and swings the bat well, which really helps.
You know, Alex, you're talking about these young guys come up ready to play, and the difference now with youth baseball and all that, and you got to the big leagues at age 18. What is the key for a young kid to get there and be so mature and early? Guess we'll get that later.
Here's Granderson beating it. That slow roller to first, and Hosmer couldn't do anything with it.
You know, it's interesting again how they're playing Granderson. This is just one of those numbers that's perfectly placed. You want to see how deep Hosmer's playing. He wants to take away the grounder, but this is, he couldn't have rolled the ball any better.
Too far away from the bag to dive and touch it. The inning continues for David Wright. So that's your guy, Alex, Matz. Make a pick. Is he your guy? It's TV. Come on.
Okay. I haven't seen enough of Matz, but I'm going to go with the left-hander. Right. And the guy last night was pretty darn good, Joe.
Yeah, that's Syndergaard.
You know, Joe, these guys remind me of the 1986 Mets when you have their young studs back then with Dwight Gooden and Sid Fernandez, who both won over 15 games and struck out over 200. Both guys depended on the high fastball and the overhand curveball. It reminds me of the guys we've seen the last 2 nights.
Yeah, they had Doc, they had Ron Darling, they had Bobby Ojeda, who was really underrated, and Sid Fernandez. Rick Aguilera was on that club as well. Good bullpen. Here's a 0-1 pitch to right. Strike 2.
I like what Alex said about the left-hander, especially with velocity. It's so rare in the game. The 19 hardest throwing starting pitchers, all right-handed. Only Chris Sale throws harder than Steven Matz from the left side.
Tom, I know when we faced him this year, guys were coming back to the dugout shaking their heads. And they kept talking to each other, telling ourselves, we have to make this guy get the ball down, because it absolutely explodes into the strike zone.
1-2 the count now on David Wright. Runner at first is Granderson, a home run in the inning. Granderson takes off, throw down in plenty of time. Alex, you start talking 86 Mets. That was your team, man.
Yes, it was.
That's Alex Rodriguez in the What's it going to be for Steven Matz here in the 6th inning? Pitch count. Last we checked, around 80. Here's a line drive into left center field. This ball is going to get down and go to the wall. Zobrist has got another double, his 8th of the postseason. And on the first pitch in the 6th inning, the Royals are in business here in Game 4.
Well, Joe, that's what I was thinking with the Royals. You're still sitting here, you're down 2. It seems dramatic because you got 2 home runs from one guy, but you really still continue to attack. You're only in the 6th, and you're going to get in that bullpen. The challenge is going to be for the Mets, can you get to Familia at the end? That's the battle that you have from here moving forward.
Here's Kane. Ball 1 up and away. Tommy surprised that Matz is still in there.
You know, a little bit again. You know, he has not been running up big pitch counts. Taking that at bat, I think you're taking that at bat last inning, knowing you're only getting 3 more outs at most from Matz.
Good pitch there from the left-hander. Strike 1.
Go.
Kane 0 for 2 tonight. He's reached base in 18 straight postseason games. It's what Zobrist has done with doubles this postseason. That's hooked foul. Strike 2. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Leadoff double for the Royals and Zobrist. Now a 1-2 to Kane. Grounded up the middle. This ball is through. Zobrist will come in to score, and it's a 1-run game. Lorenzo Kane with his first hit of the night. And it's 3-2.
Joe, I thought that was the biggest at-bat of the evening for the Royals. You get a leadoff double, you're in the 6th, you're going to get in that bullpen, but you saw Kane hook a couple balls foul. Here, he tries to shoot it to the right side. The ball gets up the middle for the base hit. Now you keep the line moving, and the pressure continues to stay on to force him to make a move.
Terry Collins tried to get a few extra outs from his left-handed starter, Matz, who is cheered on his way out. But now the Mets have to go into their bullpen. Nice will be the first one out of there. Taking on Hosmer. Nobody out in the inning. A 1-run game in the 6th. 6th inning, a run is in for Kansas City. It's a 3-2 game. Kane gets checked on at first, with Eric Hosmer at the plate and Jonathan Nice taking over on the mound for Steven Matz. Back-to-back left-handers, and a pitch is down and in for the first delivery to Hosmer, ball 1. The reaction by Matz. Instead of 5 clean, good innings, Terry Collins stuck with him into the 6th inning. He's given up a double and a single, and it's a 1-run game. A 1-0. 2-0.
Terry Collins won by sticking with Noah Syndergaard last night over 100 pitches to get that big out, bases loaded 6th inning. Tonight, he extended Steven Matz, who's not as far developed as Syndergaard, and lost the bet.
That's a strike. 2-1 from Nice.
I think Nice has got to be careful here with Hosmer. They've been pounding him in the whole night. And if you've been watching his swing on breaking balls, he's pulling off everything. He's looking for that fastball on the inside half. He got it.
He fouled it. 2-2.
Didn't get it where he wanted it. Ball's down right in his loop zone. He hits it off his leg, Joe. What do? You throw it back down and make him hit it off his leg again, right?
Which he did, and the count stays 2-2. Big spot here for Nice. Big spot here for Hosmer. Runner goes, no throw, and down to second, the tying run on a steal by Kane.
Well, that might have been a little bit of a delayed steal by Lorenzo Cain. Wasn't able to get a quick break. So what do you do when you have a pitcher you can't get a read on? You hop 1, 2, 3, and you take off. So by the time you get to that 3rd step, that ball's crossing the plate.
Great read by Cain, especially.
Here's one into center, right at Cespedes. Cain doesn't go anywhere on that arm. 1 out.
He's fun to watch throw, no doubt about that.
Well, that delay is still something that you don't see, and a lot of people think that a guy that can straight steal, this is not in your arsenal. I love it. Now watch Lorenzo Cain. When it's 1, 2, and as soon as you get the 3rd hop, you're off and running. So you're waiting, 1, for the catcher to catch it. He's blocked up by a left-handed hitter, and they're not expecting you to take off because you don't give them that immediate burst of a guy that runs fast. So it's a great play for a guy that can run and catch him off guard.
Moustakas now, tying run at second, 1 out. Strike 1 from Nice. On deck is Salvador Perez. Out in the bullpen is Bartolo Colon. Battle of the bullpens tonight.
Well, Joe, you kind of said that earlier when we were talking about what kind of game we're going to get tonight. Kind of anticipated that being a bullpen game.
Down to the number 4 starters, Matz and Young. Young gets through 4. Matz gets through 5. That's it. Good velocity from Nice. Strike 2.
Terry Collins said the other day, John Nice throwing the ball now better than he has all year. Part of that, better velocity. He's been playing up out of the bullpen. 93.
Off the hands. Right. Makes a play, and Cain holds. 2 out.
A lot of things happening on that play. Nice baseball play. This ball spinning at David Wright. Lorenzo Cain's already in scoring position. So there's no need to force a throw to third base. If he runs, Wright goes and see if he can cut him off. Nice play. What's this spin? Watch it kick. Run up the glove.
So Wright makes the play, and Terry Collins makes that determined walk out to the mound. Nice has gotten 2 big outs, and now it's Colon for Salvador Perez, trying to keep a lead. Perez already 2 for 2. We got action in the 6th inning of Game 4. He scored. It's a 1-run game. Tying run at second, Lorenzo Cain. Don't come any faster on the bases than Cain. Perez would like to drive him home, make him run. Colon. Ball 1 high.
Went to the breaking ball, knowing that Perez, notorious first ball fastball hitter. One thing Colon wants to know about every hitter: does he like the ball inside? Perez does. What Colon will do is go further inside with that 2-seam fastball.
A 42-year-old right-hander. Suffered the loss in Game 1. Kickoff play, and it's thrown into center field. Cespedes will try to come up throwing too late. And now the tying run is at third with 2 out.
Well, they had him too. Had Colon recognized the spun earlier, they got him because Murphy makes a strong break. Look at the big lead. He's coming hard. He's got him. But because Colon doesn't pick him up early, it makes the throw, and it's wide. Murphy's momentum all going towards the bag. It's tough to kind of reach back and try to catch that ball once that happens.
So now the tying run 90 feet away for Kansas City. Cain at third with 2 out, the 1-0. A ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Strike 2.
Great pitch. Right-handed hitters give up on this 2-seamer, and the comeback action gets the call.
Good job by Perez to spoil it.
I always wonder when I see the catcher hitting and the catcher complains on the call. Because you're working with that umpire the whole game long, and you're wondering, he's probably turning around saying, we're not getting that pitch. We haven't called that all day.
1-2 the count. Tying run at third. 2-2.
I love the passion of the fans. They're so into it all postseason, no matter where the home team's at. It's been incredible. The crowds we've been drawing and the reaction of the fans has been phenomenal.
That last pitch was the one I was waiting for. You have him set up for it to run a 2-seamer in. Nice take by Perez to stay off that.
Here comes a 2-2 pitch. Again, Perez able to spoil it.
Oh.
Again.
If you're a guy that can pull the ball, it's okay to look in and go out. It's hard to look out and all of a sudden think you're going to protect in. I think that's what Salvador Perez does. You hit a ball in, it means you're looking in, you go away. If you're looking out and trying to come back in, you're not going to catch up to that.
Perez trying to deliver a 2-out RBI hit. The 2-2.
Went to the changeup there, and Perez covered that. You know, interesting. I talked earlier about Syndergaard finishing that 6th inning. Colon was the option on Rios, but Terry Collins said with Colon, the ball's going to be put in play. Didn't want to take a chance with a ground ball getting through. Syndergaard can get the swing and miss. We're seeing here the difficulty of Colon to get a swing and miss.
Some kind of battle.
This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming. Remember, this started with Matz on the mound. The inning did with a double on the first pitch by Zobrist. He scored on the hit by Kane, who stole second. Recently moved to third on the throwing error by Colon on the pickoff attempt with 2 out back at second base. Good work by Nice. Now the 2-2 again. Struck him out. The Royals get a run and strand a man. They've left 4. And Yoenis Cespedes coming up. 3-2 Mets lead. Strike 1. Right 0 for 1 with a walk.
Seen an awful lot of aggressive swinging first pitch. It's almost like you're pinch hitting every time you face a new pitcher out of the pen. You know he's coming with that fastball, so one pitch you're guaranteed you can jump on.
See the cutter right there. I would reassess my scouting report on David Wright based on his swings last night on high velocity. He made the adjustment to get started earlier and hit the ball out front.
One and 2.
I think the other thing you can do, though, if you have a plan to get in on a guy, you do it when you're in a count 1-2 like this. You get in late in the count. Early in the count, I wouldn't go in there. Late in the count, I might.
High fly ball to center. Back is Kane on the track. One away. A long, loud fly ball out caught by David Wright. Fans, you shared your passion for your team on America's fastest 4G LTE network. T-Mobile thanks you for making this year's 7th inning stretch the biggest one yet. Stay tuned for the big 7th. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Daniel Murphy 0 for 2. And 2 out of 15 in this World Series. Good breaking ball from Hochevar, strike 1. Seven home runs the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. No long balls in this one. That's into left field. Easy for Gordon, 2 down. The batter will be Cespedes. Big day tomorrow on Fox, and it starts early. Wake up and start your Sunday with a special edition of the NFL on Fox. The Lions take on the Chiefs live from London. Then it's 2 more football games highlighted by the Giants and Saints. And America's game of the week, the Seahawks and the Cowboys. It all starts tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern only on Fox. And then stay right there. Grow roots on the couch, because we'll be at you tomorrow night right here on Fox with Game 5.
Yes.
On the air at 8 Eastern, and a matchup of Edinson Volquez and Matt Harvey. Rematch from game one, neither starter involved in the decision. It went 14. That's inside ball one to Cespedes.
Harold, I'm wondering if you see anything with Cespedes where it looks like he's getting closer.
Well, if he gets the ball down, his trouble has been the ball up in the zone. They are living above his hands and he's swinging underneath the ball. That's, to me, that's the difference.
That's a good sign right there. Haven't seen too many times he took 2 pitches in a row out of the strike zone. Let's see if Hochevar challenges right here.
He's got 2 home runs this postseason. That's a strike, 2-1.
I'll tell you what, the other thing he's seeing, you're not going to see this good of right-handed pitching from one staff. He's seeing 5 or 6 guys coming at you that are filthy. No let up.
Here's a 2-1. Big swing, 2-2.
2 cutters in a row he's made mistakes with. First one was a backup one inside. Understandably, Cespedes took it. This one is hittable. Under it again. His power is even lower than that. Hasn't seen so many pitches down there.
The 2-2 now. Into right center, easy for Rios. And a quiet first inning of work for Hochevar. 7th inning now, game 4. 1-run lead for the Mets, trying to even this World Series. Back at third youngest with 2 home runs in the World Series. There was action in the middle innings. Matt's the start for the Mets, and then Young. And let's go back to the spray chart. And that is what it took, Tom, from Bartolo Colon to get Salvador Perez.
10 pitches, only 1 actually in the strike zone, and the last one, a slider. Colon had struck out only 12 batters all year on the slider. That is veteran pitching right there.
Addison Reed takes over for the Mets. And fires strike 1 to Alex Gordon. It's Gordon, Rios, and then the pitcher's spot. Good numbers this postseason from Reed. An in-season pickup by Sandy Alderson, the GM of the Mets. Here's the 0-1. Nothing in 2. And Reed's come right after him.
What do you do when you get a ball away? Keep going out further, see if you get that call.
Gordon, an RBI single his last time. 1 for 2. That was against Matz. 2-2. Laid off, a full count.
Well, he doubled in the right corner, got the single in the right corner, and they've stayed strictly away this at bat.
It was 0-2, now it's 3-2. That'll get out of play off the bat of Gordon.
Bullpen by formula for Terry Collins. Reed, Clippard, Familia. Saw it last night with much more of a margin for error. Here we have 1-run game. Reed and Clippard, additions in July by Sandy Alderson.
Another 3-2. Another foul ball.
On that thought, Tom, thinking about their bullpen, I'm thinking about Kenji Morales, who's already been burned. It was a big at bat. your switch hitter, your power lefty against those guys late in the game.
Pinch hit in the 5th. 3-2 again. Another foul ball.
There's always things that will be asked when a game is over. That will be one of the questions, I'm sure, that will be asked. Win, lose, or draw here. That's what's going to happen.
That'll be the question for Ned Yost, one of them. Jerry Collins will be asked about running Matz back out there for the start of the 6th inning. Gave up a double and an RBI single, made it a 1-run game. Now a shot into right, hard hit, right at Granderson, wide. Gordon 1 for 3. I was taken by something that the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, John Gibbons, told Joel Sherman of the New York Post. Leading into this World Series after the Royals took care of Toronto in 6 games, Gibbons said they have mastered playing that close game. They manufacture on offense and they limit you on defense. Here's Rios. He went on to say their game is that close, low-scoring game. They just don't make many mistakes. Well, in this game, we've seen Rios forget how many outs there were on a sacrifice fly into right. But with this good bullpen, Ned Yost has such an advantage over any team he plays, and that is the case here tonight until the Mets get to Familia, their closer.
Great point, Joe. It's not just about their ability to rally offensively, but the ability of the bullpen to hold. Their run differential from the 7th inning on, 41-11 this postseason.
Strike 2 on Rios. Dyson is in the on-deck circle. Ball 1. Talk about the Royals and the contact they make. Kansas City has not struck out more than their opponent in any of their 14 postseason games this year. Well, tonight, through 6+, they've struck out 6 times. The Mets only 4. Now 7, but d'Arnaud could not hang on. And the at-bat will continue. Had it, lost it. And the hands went up immediately by Jim Wolf. The home plate umpire is Alex Rios. Just got a piece, I guess.
The strange thing is d'Arnaud didn't argue.
Boy, I don't know. The fans here in Citi Field saw that replay. You're waiting to see the ball change direction a little bit off the bat of Rios, and that replay didn't show it. Sure, we'll get another look. Here's a 1-2. Line drive, 2 out. 2 hard hit balls, but 2 outs against Addison Reed. That's when it's your night, Joe, because that ball did not look like it grazed the bat at all. Go back and look at that pitch right there. See, d'Arnaud did not think he missed it. He went and tagged him for the out. At first, I thought he didn't argue and put up any protests at all, but clearly by tagging him out, saying I dropped the strike, he thought it didn't foul tip. So instead of a strikeout, it turns into a line out. Either way, it's 2 out, nobody on, and the batter is Dyson. Gerard coming off the bench to bat for Hochevar. Strike 1 from Reed. Tom, there may be loud outs, but Addison Reed's done himself a favor by at least coming in throwing strikes.
Absolutely. I think he's mixed his pitches well, especially the sliders to the right-handers. Been aggressive with his stuff.
Here's the 0-1. Ball 1. Perfect inning put up by Hochevar, and Madsen will be next.
Ideally in this situation, 2 outs, bases empty, you want an extra base hitter up there. But Dyson Sort of is, with his ability to steal a bag. And we've talked about d'Arnaud's troubles lately in this month throwing runners out. So even with a base hit, he's a double waiting to happen.
Dyson off the bench. Stays alive.
Yeah, Tom, to your point, I saw him pinch in the corners. You had David Wright in and Lucas Duda in before he got the 2 strikes. Looking to try to take away that bunt. They were thinking right on the same lines as you.
Dyson was 0 for 2 in game 1. Got him here in game 4. Staying up there 1-2.
You hit that sharp ball that Curtis Granderson ran down in Kansas City. If that gets past him, we're thinking not only triple, but maybe inside the park home run in the game.
Reed trying to put up a scoreless 7th. 2 out, nobody on. Dyson strikes out. Game 4 is a good one. 3-2 Mets on top. Chris Rock last night. We move into the bottom of the 7th inning with Duda first up against Ryan Madson. 1-1.
What a good game. Sharp pitching, decisions that had to be made, questionable things happen.
What a night for that young man, the rookie Michael Conforto. Duda, big swing.
Yeah, good grip at that. The home run ball has been Ryan Madson's issue this postseason. And Duda, they've been attacking primarily with changeups. That's Madson's best pitch.
Good pitch from Madson, strike 2.
I don't know if I go back to that 91-mile-an-hour changeup. It's not that big a difference from 94 fastball. I think you're doing Duda a little bit of a favor if you throw that.
Here it comes.
Yeah, that was better. 86. You got to have a little bit of difference in the velocity. More than 3 miles.
I think he goes back to the 2-seamer here, started in. 3-2 changeup, that's his best pitch, but Duda doesn't chase off him.
Duda off balance, pops it up. Out behind the shortstop position, and that's Moustakas, who had to reach to grab it, and that was no sure out.
A bit of an adventure for him. Well, back-to-back changeups. You got him out in front to get this pop-up, but here's the story on that play. Keep backing up, big fella.
One out in the 7th, and the batter will be d'Arnaud. There's Bill Maher, Michael Moore. And 1 out, nobody on. Here's a strike.
Could do a whole game on who's here tonight.
Clearly keeping it fair and balanced.
That's a good one.
d'Arnaud tonight. The ground out, a pop up. 0-1. Strike 2.
d'Arnaud's caught a lot of innings. Go back to the 14-inning game. He caught that whole game and then came back the next day and caught. Said he was strong, but eventually you think that's going to affect him a little bit. And the first thing to go is your legs, and that's what you use with your balance to be able to hit. So if you see him suffering a little bit on the offensive side, that might be why.
Just stays alive, and the count stays 0-2. Halloween in Queens. Good game here at Citi Field. 3-2 Mets on top, trying to even this World Series. That's on the outside corner, 2 down. And that will bring in the rookie who has had a big, big night. He has got another. Conforto. Shot leading off the third, a shot leading off the fifth. And here he is with 2 out in the seventh. Buddy Tony Kubek on that list in 1957. Andrew Jones back in 96 at the old Yankee Stadium. Kenny, what's up?
Joe, some amazing notes on Conforto's second homer, the one off lefty Danny Duffy. It was the first home run Duffy allowed to a left-handed hitter since August 27, 2011. And that left-handed hitter was none other than Jim Thome. It also was Conforto's first career homer off a lefty. Keep in mind, he's only a rookie. He only had 19 career plate appearances against left-handed pitching coming into this game, 4 in the postseason. Put it all together, not bad for a kid the Mets drafted out of Oregon State with the 10th pick of the 2014 draft.
Yeah, that's last year. And here he is in the World Series 2015. A 1-1. 2-1.
Tell you what, 2 home runs already. It takes me back. Reggie Jackson. Remember when Reggie hit 3 here in New York? 3 home runs in a World Series game. So Pablo Sandoval did that a couple years ago, right?
The Panda.
Pujols as well. Conforto was looking for number 3, and he came up empty, 2-2.
Ryan Madson, really good stuff tonight. 11, 12 mile an hour separation between that heater and the changeup, keeping it down.
This kid Conforto played in the Little League World Series as an 11-year-old, in the College World Series, and now in the Big Boy World Series. It's a full count.
Yeah, he's had a nice little run through things. His Redmond, Washington team representing the Northwest in the Little League World Series. 2004, Randall Grichuk and him hooked up in a game in Williamsport.
Madson trying for a perfect 7. He's done it. He has Conforto chasing it. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 7th. 8th inning rolls in game 4. Royals will back down by 1. Changes for the Mets. Juan Lagares comes off the bench to take over in center. That kicks Cespedes into left. Conforto is finished for the night. And the 5th pitcher for New York is Tyler Clippard. His numbers this postseason. Top of the order for the Royals. Strike 1. You talk about a short leash. Clippard walked in from the bullpen, and when the door opened, Familia got up right behind him and started to get loose. Escobar 1 for 3. He went around, strike 2. Makes me think how the game started last night with that Syndergaard pitch under the chin of Escobar. We haven't had a repeat of any of that stuff here tonight in Game 4. Now a 1-2 pitch to Escobar. Back to Clippard. Chevrolet and MLB are teaming up to support youth baseball. This year's MVP will receive a Silverado full of baseball equipment to donate to their local youth league. Who wins the MVP? Who knows at this point? Keep watching to find out. Prior to tonight's game, Major League Baseball celebrated its youth baseball initiatives. Representatives of championship teams from Cleveland, the Dominican Republic, and Miami were honored for RBI. Reviving baseball in the inner cities. One out, nobody on. Here's Zobrist, who has a double. Ball one, and just to finish, also on hand were Players of the Year from MLB's Urban Youth Academies, along with the USA Baseball 18 and under national team, which in September won the WBSC Baseball World Cup in Japan. Here's a 1-0 to Zobrist. 2-0.
You know, this is that time where you've seen Clippard before. Zobrist had a nice take on the 1-0 changeup. On the 0-0 changeup, the first one he saw. Then right there, 1-0. Just being able to recognize that arm angle and the arm speed again.
Here's a 2-0 to Zobrist. On the inside corner, 2-1.
We saw those doubles. Another one tonight for Zobrist. To get another one, he'll have to use the lines because of that outfield defending the double. Trying to keep him off second base if he does put the ball in the gaps.
Zobrist has been deadly in the late innings for Kansas City. 3-1.
So when he's taking some pitches, really nice. The changeup that was called a strike that he laid off is one Clippard wants to get you to roll over. This ball off the edge, not offering. Seeing the ball really good right now.
That's ball 4, and the tying run is on with 1 out. And here in the 8th inning, 1 on, 1 out, we will welcome you inside our broadcast booth. As sure the stomach is turning for Terry Collins down in the dugout. I'm Joe Buck along with Harold Reynolds and Tom Verducci, and we are not far away from seeing the closer for the New York Mets.
I'd be inclined to run him in there right now. Tying run on first base. I mean, we know Familia can come in and get multiple outs. There's no question more than 3 outs. He's been so efficient with this stuff. I'd hate to give up the tying run if I'm Terry Collins without using my best relief pitcher.
Well, here's Kane. 1 for 3 tonight. Big swing by Kane. Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting as you look at this swing right here. No doubt a huge swing, looking to hit one big fly. But I think you're looking at Clippard with the changeup. You're hoping you get a ground ball. Now you may not double Kane up, but you can hit a ground ball.
Big swing again by Kane, but now he's in the hole 0-2.
Well, you're probably not going to see Zobrist run in this situation, especially 0-2. Clippard gets the ball to the plate fairly decent. Maybe if it goes 1-2 and you're guessing on the changeup, you might see him move, but right now I would doubt it.
Tying run at first, 1 out here in the 8th.
Good pitch right there. Listen, right now, in command of the count. You cannot get beat by Cain in the strike zone. He's in swing mode. Take advantage of it.
A little throw over to first base just to see what Zobrist is doing in this situation. There it is. When they throw over like that, all the bench is doing, bench coach Bob Guerin, all he's doing is watching the base runner. Did he lean or did he not? Now, to be able to steal this bag, he's got to get out about 12 feet. He's not got that big enough lead, I don't think, to steal a bag here.
Changeup fouled back. StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services.
And look for all those things on the bench. How big a lead is he getting? Does he extend it a little bit further? And now you think he's running. So as a base runner, you got to get the same lead, give them the same look every time.
Fastball upstairs to even the count.
David Wright at third base, defending the double, conceding the single. Outfield, you see, swung around to the right side. Granderson very deep in right field. It's an easy two-base advance on a single for Zobrist.
You wonder if this is Clippard's last hitter. What's it going to be on 2-2? 1 on, 1 out. Full count.
Will he be off and running is the question. As much contact as they make, I'd be surprised if he's not. Clippard does have a deliberate delivery. You get a good jump. Here's where the cat and mouse comes in. You throw over.
The power of Familia getting ready. But right now it's the power of Cain against Clippard. That's ball 4, and it's 2 on with 1 out. Back-to-back walks by Clippard. And we'll see if it's time for Familia. Here comes Terry Collins.
Yeah, I think it's past time.
One-third of an inning for Clippard with 2 walks. And here comes number 27, the closer for the Mets. He's got 5 outs to get. The Royals with action, 2 on, 1 out. Jeurys Familia takes over for the Mets. 5 for 6. The blown save came in game 1 in Kansas City when he was taken deep with 1 out by Alex Gordon to tie the game that the Royals won in 14. And now here he is with 2 on, 1 out. And the batter will be Eric Hosmer with another left-hander, Moustakas, to follow. Look at the numbers with runners on for Hosmer this postseason. 16 RBIs and a .355 average for a guy who came into this game with 29 career postseason RBIs. I mean, this is a man who knows how to produce a run.
Big reason for that, Joe. He stays up the middle. He does not get big in these situations.
Back-to-back walks, and that was it for Clippard. 2 on, 1 out. Good speed aboard. Hosmer.
Battle right there.
Nasty sinker.
Look at this. Power against power. Here's my best. You go get it. Right down. Good run on that pitch from Familia.
Chopper on the infield. Can't turn toe. Murphy boots it. In to score is the tying run, Zobrist. And this game is 3-3 in the 8th. And going first to third is Kane. That's the go-ahead run, only one out.
You almost saw Hosmer go to second. Here it is right here at Murphy. One of these is going to come in, charge, and try to scoop. He just missed it. He'll be the first one to tell you. It's one of those stayed right underneath his glove. I don't know if he was thinking, how am I going to transfer this ball to throw to first? Am I going to scoop it out of the glove and flip it to him, or am I going to come forward, take another step, and throw it?
Just put it in play. That's what the Royals do. An error by Murphy. The game is tied, first and third, only one out, and the batter is Moustakas. That's to the right side, and the Royals take the lead. In to score is Kane, and going first to third is Hosmer. Moustakas has put Kansas City on top 4-3.
Give them an opening, and they come storming through. We've seen it throughout the postseason. You make a mistake, and they make you pay and pay.
And they continue to set up holes in the infield by going first to third and just continually putting the pressure on you.
The Kansas City Royals have come up with 2 here in the 8th and lead by 1, up 2 games to 1. And now one skips in to Salvador Perez for ball 1. And I'll ask you, Tom, that if Terry Collins was willing to go to Familia for 5 outs after that 1-out walk to Ben Zobrist with Lorenzo Cain walking up, he left Familia in the bullpen. Another walk from Tyler Clippard. And not much margin or room for error for Familia, and we have seen an error literally from Daniel Murphy. Here comes a 1-0 to Salvador Perez with the Royals leading 2-0.
Well, my point, Joe, was it'd be hard to allow the tying run to score. Even get on base, in this case, the go-ahead run, without your best relief pitcher in the game. Bullpen by formula, yes, but the wheel turned on a cold pitcher in the 8th inning, Tyler Clippard.
Yeah, but guys, I still come back. Murphy makes a routine play. You got 2 outs. You got Familia with the hitter from the right side who can punch out and get you out of the inning.
And now Familia with 2 blown saves in this series. This one trickles away. And coming down the line was Hosmer. He was thinking about continuing to the plate as Duda went after it.
Rains and pours. Just play a little catch right now. They just need to catch a baseball. We watched 2 pitches to Darnell that he didn't handle. And the throw over to first, Duda drops. Just ugly baseball for a moment here.
Now a 2-0 pitch from Familia. 2-1.
Joe, it goes back to what you said, though, early. They just make contact. And when you put the ball in play, you put the pressure on the defense. And that's how they're winning ball games.
Here comes a 2-1 pitch to Perez. It's foul, 2-2.
I don't think any staff, particularly the Mets, with all their power and all the strikeouts they've racked up, including the man on the mound, have ever had guys in their whole careers put the ball in play as much as this team has done in this series.
Now Wade Davis is ready for more than an inning here tonight. Well rested. Here is a 2-2 pitch now to Perez. That's into right field. That ball's going to get down. Another run scores. That's Hosmer going to third as Moustakas. It's 5-3. And Salvador Perez has his third hit of the night, his first RBI.
And Joe, the first to third again. This team is something.
First to third, another 2-strike hit.
Come on!
I just hope the baseball world has woke up and realized and watched how the Kansas City Royals play baseball. They don't live for the homer. If it's there, we'll take it. But if not, we're going to put the ball in play, and we're going to make you catch the baseball to beat us.
Salvador Perez with a big night tonight, 3 out of 4. This RBI makes it a 2-run game, and those who are here representing Kansas City, whether it's player or fan, they're having all the fun now here in the 8th. Still only 1 out, and again, as Harold said, first to third as Moustakas took that trip on the hit by Perez. Book is closed on Clippard, a third of an inning. 2 runs, no hits, but 2 walks. Here's Gordon. This will be a double play, brilliantly turned to keep a run off the board for Kansas City. What a job by Murphy, who committed that error in the inning. But you had to wait and see, and it was Murphy who tags Perez, and out of the glove flips for the double play to keep Moustakas from scoring. 5-3 after 7.5 in Game 4. You run 8th inning and lead by 2. And now Ned Yost is going to go to his closer for 2 full innings here as Wade Davis, who has not appeared since Game 1, is into the 8th inning with his team up 2.
You know what? The rules of engagement change in October. Davis, with no save beyond 3 outs in the regular season, did have a 6-out save in the ALDS game number 4, wasting no time in getting, as you said, his rested closer into the game.
Man there, Jeurys Familia, the first pitcher with 2 blown saves in a World Series since 2008, when Ryan Madson of Philadelphia was guilty of that, and he stands to be the winner tonight. Paulo Orlando takes over for a defensive upgrade in right. And Wilmer Flores, Juan Lagares, and Curtis Granderson will be the hitters against Wade Davis. Ball 1 down.
I would assume that was a double switch position with the pitcher.
Well, Familia gets the blown save, but I go back to the Kane at bat against Clippard. 0-2. Clippard had Kane 0-2, and Kane made him throw 6 pitches and drew the walk, and then the closer comes in the game.
Here's a 1-0. Strike 1 on Flores, and that catches Salvador Perez. Wow. October filled with that.
Kind of right in the neck, huh?
And he's going to get looked at. So up above, we show you that tonight's telecast sponsored by MasterPass, your shortcut to priceless, by Taco Bell, steal a base, steal a breakfast, live Moss, and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Giving us that shot is our DirecTV blimp, providing our aerial coverage. Now part of the AT&T family. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Let's see where this caught Salvador Perez. Right into the chest.
Took a ball right there in the Toronto series. Right in that area. You know, it's interesting. I was in the clubhouse yesterday, and Butera, the other catcher, has a little thicker chest protector. He said, "This doesn't fit me. You need to wear this." But he just wasn't comfortable with it. He's going to stay with his. Tell you what, he's going to have to go get him a body armor suit next year.
Count 1-1 on Wilmer Flores, 1 for 2. Leading it off in the 8th inning against Wade Davis. That's foul, strike 2.
You know, just watching the body language of the Royals, it just looks like they're like a shark in water that sees blood. They're all of a sudden just, they're on their toes, they're into the game. I mean, you can just see it and sense it that they know this is our game to grab right now.
Trying to go up 3-1 in this World Series. Here comes a 1-2 pitch.
Well, they definitely have a unique brand of baseball in today's game. Harold, you talked about the ability to make contact. It's also up-tempo baseball. Pitchers work quick. Defense covers a lot of ground. We've seen the base running, the aggressiveness there. Swinging the bat early and often. They play the game fast.
Wade Davis up by 2. He has not allowed an earned run in his last 14 postseason appearances, and he's got 1 out as he strikes out Flores to start the 8th. One down, and instead of Lagares, it will be Kelly Johnson. So Kelly Johnson comes off the bench. There is action for the Mets out in their bullpen. This is the worst situation for Terry Collins. Not only is Familia unable to maintain the lead, the error a big part of it, but now he doesn't want to, with a game tomorrow night, stretch out Familia where he wouldn't be available. They'll probably have to get him out of there after pitching just in this top of the 8th. Johnson, strike 1.
No, you're right, Joe, and that's a great point. You still have another game you have to play. You got to continue to manage the series. That's why you got to make the move.
Daniel Murphy with a big error in the top of the inning. Here's one into right. Over to get it is Orlando, just into the game. 2 out. And the batter will be Granderson.
You know, the only way Familia goes back out to the mound if somehow they tie the game or, of course, take the lead. You cannot have your closer go back out there down 2. Meanwhile, the Kansas City closer, Joe, I mean, I don't know how anybody hits the guy. He has 3 complete wipeout pitches. The fastball, the cutter, the curveball.
Only 7 pitches thrown for the first 2 outs. Granderson takes ball 1.
The other thing, Joe, you said they haven't seen Davis since game 1. I thought the preview to Familia the other day was going to come back and bite him. And I just think anytime you give hitters a chance to see that closer more than you need to, it's an advantage hitter.
There's a strike. Steven Matz, the starter, he was in line for the win. If the bullpen could hang on, the bullpen could not. That's a strike on Granderson, 1-2.
And Tom, that's to your point right there. Back-to-back sliders, just devastating. Painting it on the corners, tough to pick up.
Good swing by Granderson. Stays 1-2. David Wright on deck. Big Bats will bat again for the Mets before the end of this one. What is right now a 2-run game after a 3-run top of the 8th. The 1-2 to the right side. Zobrist makes the play to his left, sending game 4 into the 9th inning. Kansas City will bat up by 2. This was a party here into the top of the 8th inning at Citi Field, but the Royals took it to them. 3 runs in the top of the 8th with an error by Murphy mixed in. And now Robles is into the game with Kirk Neuenhuis in defensively in center. There's Neuenhuis, who will bat in the 7th spot. The pitcher back in the number 9 spot. And that pitcher is Hansel Robles.
He'll quick pitch you too.
First up is Paulo Orlando. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe, the biggest story coming into this series, of course, the Mets' young guns, the starting pitchers, against this deep Kansas City lineup. But the subtext, and the Mets were concerned about this, because the Royals put the ball in play, the interior defense of the Mets. Not very athletic, not a lot of range. And it took 5 outs away from tying this series for it to show up.
Yeah, it was interesting. Alex Rodriguez and I were discussing this before, and he was saying, think about it. You know, the Mets are going to average anywhere from 8 to 10 or 12 strikeouts a game, maybe 15 with the bullpen getting hot. So then you got 12 more outs to get, but the Royals are not going to give you that many strikeouts.
Here's a 2-1.
So that ball's going to be in play, and that's how the defense comes into play. Who's going to make those extra outs that they would normally get with the pitcher?
Murphy with the error in the 8th inning with 2 on, 1 out on a slowly hit ground ball by Hosmer. And then the Royals went to work. Moustakas an RBI hit. Salvador Perez an RBI hit. Gordon bounced into a double play. And now a 2-2 pitch to Orlando. Ball 3.
Yeah, and that just kills you as a defender. I mean, the last thing, you're out there saying, come on, pick me up, please. I know he got the nice double play to end the inning, but you want that to happen right away. But it didn't. But once you make that error, nobody feels worse than you on the field.
Murphy will bat second in the bottom of this 9th inning. Inning 7 on for Kansas City this postseason. They're hitting .339 and they've scored 44 runs. That's strike 3. So the Royals have scored more runs from the 7th inning on in the postseason than they have from the 1st through the 6th.
You know, that to me is a tribute to how they play. They don't ever quit. They keep coming at you, and they always think they got a shot.
And that's while allowing only 11 runs. I'm telling Wade, Dave, I'm going to take sign every pitch right here. He's barely in the batter's box.
He's 2 for 8, in case you're wondering, in his career swinging it.
Yeah, he's been a starter in the past, so this isn't your traditional bullpen guy who's never got the swing. But I hear you, Tom. Not only stand there and not swing, stand there and back up out of the box so you don't get hit.
One out, nobody on. Strike 2. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, the first 3 For the Mets in the bottom of this ninth inning, Wright, then Murphy, then Cespedes.
You don't want him on base. That's the bottom line.
Taking all the way, 2 out.
Now go sit down and relax.
A lot of people who like the DH are going, see, that's why. That's why you need a designated hitter. You're echoing right now.
Like Ned said, good eye up there.
That a boy.
Way to follow instructions.
Strike 3 called, and then just goodbye. I'll go do my real job next. So with 2 out, nobody on, here's Escobar. Ball 1 from Robles, who is the 7th pitcher of the night for the Mets.
He just looks nasty to face. It seems like he's going to hit somebody every time he delivers the ball.
The Mets finally found a Royal who would take strikes. Have to get to the Kansas City closer.
Game is a long way from over. Mets, as it stands now, will need just one base runner to have a chance at the bottom of the inning. If Robles can keep it a 2-run game, that's ball 2.
Well, and they're set up nicely. You know, you go Wright, Murphy, Cespedes. You got the middle, the heart of that order that can do damage. So you're set up nice with the hitters you want to come up with a chance to tie this or win it.
But Wade Davis, he knows how to get the last 3 outs. That's behind the plate for d'Arnaud and out of his reach. 2-2. They read my mind in the truck. Tomorrow night it's Edinson Volquez, back from the Dominican Republic after losing his father the day he took the ball in game 1 against Matt Harvey. Here is a 2-2 pitch. That's into right center. It will hang up, and Neuenhuis just into the game is there. And that sends game number 4 into the bottom of the 9th inning with the big bats coming up for the Mets as they trail run deficit in the 9th inning or later to win a game. That was the Cardinals game 6, the last to do it in 2011 against Texas. Meanwhile, the guy trying to prevent that is Wade Davis, who only one time all year allowed 2 runs. And that was August 13th against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And now in the bottom of the 9th inning, it's David Wright, Daniel Murphy, Yoenis Cespedes. Good big bats for the Mets down 2.
Their mission, get Cespedes to the plate with a runner on base. David Wright is 1 for 3 against Wade Davis. For 1 hit, a home run.
The 1 through 6 hitters tonight for the Mets have 1 hit. And that belongs to Granderson back in the 5th. But Wright 0 for 2. Murphy 0 for 3. And 2 for 16 in the series. Cespedes 0 for 3. Duda 0 for 3. d'Arnaud 0 for 3. 1 ball, 1 strike. Edinson Volquez gets the ball tomorrow night. If the Royals win here tonight, it'll be on him. We still have the first opportunity to clinch the first championship for Kansas City in 30 years. A 1-1. Strike 2.
This is where it gets tough. Now you get the slider on the outside corner. You fall behind this guy. He's got so many weapons to get to you. That's why it's so hard to get to him.
Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Too far outside, 2-2. Wright strikes out to start the inning.
That's the pitch I thought he was going to throw. 1-2. He kind of wasted a fastball to get it to 2-2. But when you have deadly control, you don't worry about it. Here it is. He comes right back with it. Look at the drop on that. It looks like a fastball coming in, and then it just bottoms out on you.
And because he has 3 put-away pitches, it really does force you to be aggressive. I know you're trying to get on base, but you can't concede strikes to Wade Davis. That's why Wright swung 1-0.
Here's Daniel Murphy. The toast of the town for the Mets and in New York through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, but it's been a different story against Kansas City. 2 out of 16 and a killer error in the top of the 8th with Familia on the mound. Here's a 1-0, 2-0.
What they've done to take away his power is show him the ball inside. I know the first at bat, a little bit of a mistake. He hits a bullet. Nice play by the right fielder. But other than that, they've gone away. And instead, if you want to hit the ball hard, you hit it hard the opposite direction.
A 2-0, 2-1.
Yeah, nasty little slider outside corner. Just dirty, man. Just filthy to hit.
I like Moustakas at third base, still honoring a bunt here.
2-2.
And now he can retreat.
Mets need a base runner to have a chance. Wade Davis doing his usual work here in the 9th after a perfect 8th. The 2-2. Hard hit left side and through Moustakas. Murphy is on with 1 out in the 9th. He got a glove on it, couldn't make a play.
I tell you, the more I see them move Moustakas around the infield, the more you realize he's a third baseman.
He's not comfortable in the middle.
No.
We've seen that repeatedly. And now they've done what I think was their mission. Get Cespedes to the plate as the tying run. 3 for 7 against Wade Davis.
It goes down as a base hit for Murphy. His 3rd of this World Series, and you're right, Tom. Here it is. Cespedes 0 for 3. Only 1 RBI in this World Series. Picked up minutes before the deadline from the Detroit Tigers by Sandy Alderson, and when he came to the Mets, everything changed offensively for New York. Wild swing. It's been 40 at bats since the last home run for Cespedes, and for Yoenis, last 28 games with the Mets, he hit just .225, 2 home runs, the 10 RBIs after just going off. 17 home runs over his first 41 games. He's trying to find his stroke again. The 1-1. That's into right, a base hit. Murphy will hold at second, 2 on, 1 out. Tying runs are on.
The slider got him, but the fastball, he stays on and drives it the other way. This is the first time I've really seen a ball down for him, and he throws his hands.
And now it's Lucas Duda. Winning run at the plate. Wade Davis allowed 3 home runs during the season. Duda hit 27. He has 1 this postseason. Strike 1. It's Duda now with d'Arnaud on deck, and remember, Conforto has been taken out of this game. Neuenhuis would follow d'Arnaud. Broken bat, that is caught. Going off the back is Cespedes, and the game is over. Yoenis Cespedes just took off, and he's doubled off on the soft line drive, and now the Royals are 1 win away from a World Series championship. Final tonight, 5-3 in a 3-hour, 29-minute game. And the game ends on a base running mistake.
Yeah, 2 big errors tonight. 1 physical, 1 mental right there that really kind of did the Mets in. The Murphy ground ball that he kicked, and right there Cespedes on the ball. You have nowhere to go. It's in front of you.
Trail runner. Game turned on a mistake, ended on a mistake.
And it wasn't even close. Cespedes just took off. He's got a guy in front of him, the play in front of him, and he's caught off first base out by a mile. And the Kansas City Royals get 2 innings from their closer, Wade Davis, and they're 1 win away. Up 3-1.
Every mistake you make, they seem to capitalize, whether it's on the offensive side or the defensive side. We're watching a team that really puts pressure on you.
And on top of that, when you get into a battle of the bullpens, good luck, because Kansas City brings one guy after the next that's better than what's on the other.